Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, my name is Linda and I'm a product designer from Toronto. So for today's video, as you can tell by the title down below, I'll be answering if knowing how to code is necessary for product designers. Disclaimer before I answer this question, these are my own thoughts and opinions, so please don't come for me if you don't agree. Now let's get right into the video. Okay, so do you need to know how to code? The short answer for this is no, and that's because as designers, we're responsible for more than just designing a pretty interface. We actually have the whole design process to master, which includes research, ideating, brainstorming solutions, prototyping, testing, UX strategy, and just so much more. And usually we don't have enough hours in a day to conduct or even do all of this in the first place. But there is a flip side to this answer, and that is, although it's not necessary to know how to code, it can be very beneficial to our career. So I'm not saying you need to know React, Python, Ruby, or even JavaScript, but understanding and appreciating the basics of HTML, CSS, and some JavaScript can be really helpful to us designers. In other words, this would be called front-end development, which is what users see and interact with. Okay, so how does this help? There are three different reasons as to why coding would help you. The first one, and the very most important one for us designer, is to be able to communicate and understand the devs better. So you gain a shared knowledge for speaking about code, which they really appreciate, and you start to understand like what's easily achieved and what's more challenging, so like what's more feasible, and knowing time constraints. Also, it's easier to articulate like particular design ideas to them, especially if it's more complex. If you're able to articulate those ideas in a way that they can understand, they're a lot more likely to push out the designs, and overall the handoff to devs is a lot smoother and easier to do. The second thing is you're seen as a UX unicorn, which makes you more marketable. So obviously the more you know, the more you can expand your horizon when it comes to job opportunities. So especially for startups, they tend to look for people who can design and code, and that's because limited resources and money, so you usually stand out compared to people who don't know how to code. But I will say, if you're applying to bigger companies, this does not really apply, and that's because they tend to keep design and development into two different teams. Last but not least is that you can bring your own projects to life. So depending on how much you know how to code, this can determine how complex of a product that you can create. So the more you know, the more complex you can go. And if you're someone who has an entrepreneur mindset, who wants to create products and businesses, knowing how to code can be super useful for you. You can bring your designs to life, and if they're good enough, you can start putting them out into the world. And who knows, maybe make some money on the side. Even though there are some great reasons as to why coding is beneficial, like I said earlier, it is not necessary. For me, I think it's more important to master the UX UI skills first before diving into code, because at the end of the day, if the product has poor UX, no matter how great the code is, the product will still fail. So understanding who you are as a designer first will help you decide whether or not coding is for you. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe, and of course hit the notification bell to see when I post next, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!